Dylan Larkin demanded a trade from Detroit. The Red Wings said no. He said, "Fine, here are the 3 teams I will go to." Only 3. Detroit said the list is too short. Expand it. He said no. And then, out of nowhere, Dallas Stars forward Jason Robertson goes to salary arbitration with his own team, refusing a $120 million offer. And suddenly, everyone is saying the same thing at the same time. Is this a Larkin for Robertson swap? 2 superstars, 2 teams that desperately need the other guy's player. One wildly complicated trade framework that could move the entire offseason in one afternoon. I'm going to tell you everything I know right now, because the clock on this one is ticking. Steve Yzerman is one of the most respected hockey minds in the sport. A Hall of Famer, the man who built Tampa Bay's dynasty. And when reporters asked him directly about Dylan Larkin this week, he gave them an answer that was honest in a way most GMs never are. Subscribe right now and hit the bell. Because once you hear what Yzerman said word for word and what Larkin's agent said back, the whole situation snaps into focus. And the Robertson connection becomes a lot less surprising. Here's the exact situation. Larkin came to Yzerman after the season and said he wants to be traded. He has a no-trade clause, which means he gets to hand the team a list of places he's willing to go. His list had 3 teams: Florida Panthers, Minnesota Wild, Vegas Golden Knights. 3 teams on a list. For the captain of the Detroit Red Wings. A guy who grew up 40 minutes from the arena, who has played his entire career in the only NHL city he has ever known. Yzerman's response to reporters this week, he said there are no guarantees. He said he is not just going to accept any trade that comes along.
So, and I will be deliberately brief here. So shortly after the season, I received a phone call from Dylan Larkin's agent, informing me that Dylan would like to be traded. A week or so after that, Dylan's agent followed up with a short list of teams that Dylan would consider waiving his no trade to go to. So having said that, Dylan has 5 years remaining on his contract. My job as the manager of the Detroit Red Wings is always to do what is in the best interest of the Detroit Red Wings, and I will act accordingly to that. So I cannot make any guarantees, or did not make any guarantees that request could or would be met. As Wojo had asked, there is certainly a lot of uncertainty around that. So for the time being, I can confirm yes, that request was made. I think I will be in a position to maybe answer more questions and be more specific in the future. Today, I would just like to leave it at that. We've just completed the draft. I would like the majority of the attention to be placed on the prospects we've added to our organization.
And then he said something that cut right to the heart of this standoff. He told Pat Brisson, Larkin's agent, that the 3-team list simply isn't workable. Expand it, or we are not moving. Brisson's response, according to TSN, they are working as a team on it. Which is agent speak for "we have heard you and we are not saying yes yet." Elliotte Friedman, on his 32 Thoughts podcast, added a layer to all of this. He noted that Larkin's trade value took a hit after the Leo Carlsson offer sheet situation reshuffled cap priorities across the league. Teams that might have been willing to pay top dollar for a center like Larkin suddenly had fewer assets available. That matters because Yzerman is not trading his captain for a bad return. And here is where Dallas walks in. July 2026. Jason Robertson files for salary arbitration with the Dallas Stars. This is not a routine move. Robertson had reportedly been offered $120 million over 8 years by Seattle in a sign-and-trade framework. He turned it down. He has a hearing date set for July 25th. The Stars gave him extension offers. He did not sign. He went to arbitration. This is a star player in a disagreement with his team at the worst possible time. Arbitration hearings in hockey are ugly. Teams argue why a player is worth less. Players argue why they deserve more. Even when both sides win legally, the relationship usually takes a hit. And now, with the arbitration clock ticking, Dallas has a decision to make. Do they pay Robertson what he wants? Do they take the arbitration ruling? Or do they do something that would have seemed unthinkable 3 weeks ago? Do they trade him? David Pagnotta of the Fourth Period was first to surface the Larkin-Robertson framework publicly. Heavy.com picked it up. NHL trade rumors confirmed discussions. Multiple outlets followed. Here's the basic concept. Detroit has Dylan Larkin, a center they are trying to trade to a team on Larkin's approved list. Dallas has Jason Robertson, a winger in a contract dispute who may or may not have a future with the Stars depending on how this arbitration plays out. Larkin and Robertson are not the same type of player. Larkin is a center, Robertson is a winger. But in a straight swap, both teams solve their problems. Detroit gets a proven scorer who does not have a no-trade clause complication. Dallas gets a captain who wants to play in a winning environment, and as of last week, Larkin has added Dallas to his approved list. That confirmation came from Ansar Khan at MLive, picked up by Bleacher Report and Yardbarker. He approved Dallas. That is not a small detail. It means the trade can actually happen now in a way it could not a week ago. The framework exists. The appetite seems to be there. Larkin approved Dallas. Robertson is stuck in an arbitration mess. So why hasn't this happened yet? Drop a like right now if you've been following this one closely. And subscribe, because the complication sitting in the middle of this trade is genuinely interesting, and it involves a number that is going to cause real pain for whichever team blinks first. Larkin carries a cap hit of $8.5 million through 2028. Robertson's number is unknown because his arbitration has not concluded, but given that he turned down $15 million per year from Seattle, his ask is almost certainly in that range or close to it. These are not equal numbers. They are not equal contract lengths. For this trade to work, both Detroit and Dallas need to agree not just on which players are moving, but on what additional pieces, picks, prospects, retained salary, make the deal balance out on paper. The Hockey News noted that Robertson's brother Nick took a much more player-friendly approach to his own contract situation in Pittsburgh, avoiding arbitration entirely and setting a good precedent. The question is whether Jason Robertson follows that same philosophy or digs in. If he signs an extension directly with Dallas, that trade framework changes completely or disappears. If he goes through arbitration and a number gets forced on him, Dallas's flexibility narrows even further. Either way, the deadline for this to move is very close. Here is where I land on all of this. I think Yzerman is a better negotiator than most people are giving him credit for right now. He is not panicking. He is not accepting a bad return because Larkin pushed him into a corner. He told Larkin's camp to expand the list. Larkin eventually added Dallas. That tells me the standoff is moving in Yzerman's direction, slowly but clearly. I also think this trade is genuinely more likely than most offseason blockbuster rumors. Both teams have a real reason to do it. Both players solve a specific problem for the organization they're going to. And now that Dallas is on the approved list, the legal obstacle is gone. What I don't know, and nobody outside those two front offices knows either, is what the price tag looks like. Does Detroit demand a first-round pick on top of Robertson? Does Dallas need salary relief to make the cap work? Those details decide everything. July 25th is Robertson's arbitration date. Between now and then, something happens. Either Dallas locks him up and this whole conversation changes shape, or Yzerman picks up the phone and starts talking specifics. Drop a comment right now. Does this trade get done before August? And which team do you think gets the better end of it? Subscribe and hit that bell. This is the most interesting trade story of the summer, and it's not close to finished. Talk to you soon.